Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for The Amazing Spider-Man issue 52. That is a nutty cover there, and pretty much dealing with the Spider Goblin here. I can't believe I've been reading this for like 52 issues, man. I didn't expect it to pull me into this kind of level, but I am truly glad that it has, and This arc has definitely been an interesting one, and I cannot wait to see where it kind of goes more next. Because I'm glad that we got build up from the Spidey hunt, and that we are getting payoff on what's going on here. Now granted, I understand that this is a hard concept to execute well, and it's not up to, like, people can definitely not like it, not like the direction of, like, I don't want to see Peter as a goblin spider-ass dude. It's like, I get that. Totally cool to just skip this and be like, I don't want to deal with that. But even out of if I was seeing this out of context and being like, Spider Goblin, that sounds really kind of stupid. But reading it and seeing it executed and everything, I'm loving it more than I thought I would. So, we had seen that Chasm has popped up, and let's see how that kind of works out. So we get as Kraven first. I am a hunter. I've also been prey. These men are neither. This goes beyond competition, beyond hatred. I'm reminded of two dueling silverbacks in the Congo. Creatures who know in their bones nature has only room for one of them. The broken one tenses, death is near. As I flee without hesitation or shame, I know, as he's pretty much seen Spider Goblin and Chasm getting ready to go for it. Only one will survive this, and then we get this beautiful 2-page there as they clash. It's like, damn, it's nuts. Alright, Chasm. I love Chasm's color and energy bouncing off everywhere. This, again, is just really good there. So, we've seen the start of the conversation, so we shift out towards this, as we see that Osborn is doing some interesting kind of plays. All of the OzChem subsidiary, all of it, and the munitions startup, sign them all over. To Peter Parker, I have to say this is highly irregular. Can you give me any color on where this decision is coming from? Let's just say it's a future liability issue. It has become necessary that Peter Parker be responsible for the actions of Oscorp in the near future. That's either he's going to dump shit on Peter, or potentially try and take over Peter's body, or whatnot. Now granted, that's just the two options that I'm thinking of that are the most kind of plausible at this point. There could be other ones. I know that would be kind of similar to Doc Ock, but I think of it more as a power play of Osborn taking over Peter's body and doing all this stuff to corrupt what Peter has done. Now, as explaining myself to the help is truly my least favorite thing, I'll be, hold on, as he clicks off. Give me the front desk now. Miss Johnson, how long has Kamala Khan been in my building? As we see him go pretty much piss mode. Over an hour, Mr. Osborn. When were you planning on telling me? You weren't to be disturbed. Would you like me to send her up? No, I do not want you to send her up, because I am not here, remember? Now, if you want to, as we see Kamala looking right up into the camera. What are you looking at? Mr. Osborn? That's okay, I'm leaving. I just wanted to see how I'd be received. I'll catch Mr. Osborn later. I'm like, thank you for being very smart there, Kamala. Now we get to this awesome layout for the panels, how they're kind of going diagonally. It just really shows the momentum and the movement going on. You picked the wrong day to cross me, Ben. Whatever sympathies I had for you are gone. I hope you're as afraid as you should be, you idiot. You think I'm here to fight you? And smacks him with this, like, scythe thing. Nice. I was in the Winkler device. I got a glimpse of what the Green Goblin put in your head. He's using you, and I'm here to put an end to it, one way or the other. It's like, thank you, Ben, for being level-headed on this kind of thing, because this is a nutty kind of situation. My God, you're delusional. Still trying to be a hero. You actually think someone as pathetic as you can save me? And of course, that's something that Peter would never say. And totally Goblin. Well, come on, Ben. You want to save me? As he pretty much jumps in on his glider, pretty much tanking him out. Save me! Oof. Save me! Holy shit, as he slammed into kind of a pillar area. Very nice use of color, of especially like the green stuff that's going on with Chasm, and then the red of the exhaust. So we shift over to New Jersey and get more on the Kamala front. And back where it all began. Norman caused this damage, sending Peter to another dimension. The machine Osborn built to do it pulled me into his orbit, into Peter's life, and well, I don't like to think about that, huh? As we see a Doc Ock arm, it's like, but it is not the new Doc Ock arm that we'd seen previously. Huh? Doc Ock? Back off! Wait! As she punches, but we see that it is Connors wearing the old Doc Ock arms who gets slammed into Jameson. Be careful with those things. I'm doing my best. I wouldn't admit that. Hey, show Dr. Connors some respect. What is going on here? Generating answer. Answer to query, what's going on here, generated. You're late. That's what's going on here. I'm late? I love this. It's like, and Kamala's like, I love Kamala's confusion. I'm like, yeah, okay. I don't know who you are, and I don't have time for games. The Green Goblin is back, and that means I'm supposed to meet Spider-Man here. I know you're in Spider-Man's plan, Miss Khan. It was I who helped him make it. And she's like, shit, okay. But of course the plan has gone awry. You must have known it would end this way. It never goes well for you. As Ben's pretty much got a fucking glider on his ass. And Spidey's got the, Spidey Goblin's got the spear. When you stand between me and something I want, and it's just like, he looks really gnarly there. I do like how he got little panel, big, the spear. You have no idea what you want. You're doing the Green Goblin's bidding, and you don't even know it. Huh, I suppose you would know. Benny boy, my little clone. And then we get the diagonals again. The one who thought he could steal my life. Peter, you have to fight this. Quiet, Benny boy. I have a secret identity to keep after all. As he headbutts Ben. It's like, damn it. It really is interesting that we've gone through all of this, all of these stories that have been involving Ben trying to take over Peter's life, and that we feel for him here as he's attempting to help Peter in this dire situation. We shift back over to the Walking Brain. As you can see, Osborn has been buying new companies, drastically expanding the Oscorp empire. Most alarmingly, he's putting these companies in Peter Parker's name. This has to have something to do with Spider-Man's disappearance. Where did you get all this data? As we see him showcasing off a hologram kind of thing, it's like, ooh, that's cool. I sacrificed a large part of my knowledge to construct this body. I no longer understand the universe or cheese, frankly, but I kept everything necessary to enact a contingency plan for Green Goblin's return that I developed with Spider-Man, as well as other personal projects. That's interesting. I love that kind of tease. It's like, it's interesting that he had to sacrifice so much knowledge, but that's usually how this kind of thing goes. You either have all this knowledge and you kind of have no ability to actually enact it, or you then have the ability to enact it, but you have to sacrifice certain kind of knowledge. I love that kind of juggling there. But that's the problem. The contingency plan heavily involves Spider-Man, and he's missing in action. Don't worry. I still have enough synapses in this brain to improvise when I need to. I found us another Spider-Man. And you'd be thinking, oh, does that mean he's in contact with Ben? No. Okay, because here we go. Now granted, he has found another Spider-Man. You'd think, using any of the other kind of Spider-Verses. Kane. Anybody else? No. Look tight, big believers. The walking rec rap is reporting for all your web wanging needs. And it's just like, I love the whole big almost page there of him. And you're like, oh my god. And Kamala's like, what? I'm like, yes. So, granted, Rec Rap needs to be handled very carefully. We will have to see how this plays out. I am more on the optimistic kind of side because they understand what Rec Rap is, and I don't think it'll be completely that he saves the day, but he will be instrumental in it, so I'm fine with that. It's how he's balanced, how he's handled, and how he's executed. Go a little bit too far, go almost to South Park kind of route of Integrity Farms, and utilizing him too much, we'll get into issues. But I'm like, I love how Kamala's like, oh god. Like, yep. You're impotent, Ben. Ineffective. You always have been. I've buried Spider-Man in so much hate and fear that no one can find him. Least of all, an empty clone filled with psychoreactive goo, as we then see that Ben uses the psychoreactive goo from the Chasm suit to kind of get onto his stuff. But the thing is, you have to look out. Spider-Man doesn't really gloat when he's doing those kind of things. Seeing that Norman doesn't understand that and utilized his Norman weakness, Norman/Green Goblin weakness of gloating, he gave this opening for Ben. And I love this 2-page here of how it kind of works to kind of get us to this point. It's just so goopy, and I love the paneling that works with it. What did you do to me? The goo's only showing you what you did to yourself. My mind. Get out! As we see that the Goblin programming is kind of shifted out. As we see, but then, as we see that Peter is back in control for the moment. Where am I? What am I doing here? As we see him looking at the spear. The spear. He sent me for this. I think that's the only thing that can stop him. Ben, I thank you. And I love that. He doesn't know exactly what's going on. He's like, okay, this spear, it's important to taking him down. And he thanks Ben. And to me, even though he's web swinging out, he has the spear, I feel that that is a very sincere thank you. He truly does believe in Ben, even though Ben does some stupid ass shit. I actually thought that was going to kill him. I'm like, Ben, you make me feel for you, and then you go with that. And Craven's just looking on like, oh, okay. So, we shift, and we're back to Peter at the moment. The Goblin used the Winkler device to make a home in my head. Used me to get this. The only thing that can remove the Goblin's sins from Norman. I have to plan my next... Grr! No. Programming is still in my head. I don't have much time. Move, Peter. So, that's the issue. Peter is somewhat back, but the programming is still there, so he's swinging out. And I love how we kind of end at this page that is just really kind of cool, and to me, goes kind of classic Spider-Man style of utilizing the webs and showcasing other kind of things as well. It's just really kind of cool. If the Green Goblin wants the spear, I'm going to give it to him. Right through the heart. As we see the Walking Brain and his cadre. We see Norman as the Green Goblin laughing. And we see to be continued. And then we got the spider page, the spam page. And we get a preview of seeing Spider-Goblin with the Sinister Six webbed up. So, I really like this issue because a lot of things were going on. We get the confrontation between Ben and Spider-Goblin. We get the Kamala Khan is moving and grooving and actually figuring things out, which, yes, that's what she would do since she's in this kind of situation. Norman being like, what the fuck are you doing here? And her being like, okay, I need to kind of figure this out. Getting hooked up with the Walking Brain, with Kurt Connors, with the Doc Ock arms that are partial to Peter. We got Jameson. We've got Doug. We've got Wreck Rap. We've got that Ben actually was able to help out Peter, even though he thought that was probably going to kill him. It's like, Ben, work with me here. Get a little bit better. But I liked that he's like, I saw what the Green Goblin did to you. And just seeing Spider-Goblin just being that kind of asshole and being able to read it in this kind of fucked up fusion voice of Peter and Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, saying these things to Ben before Ben utilizes the goo to pretty much snap Peter out of it at least long enough to understand he's got the spear, he's got to do this kind of stuff, and seeing that he's trying to go after the Green Goblin. So we'll have to see all this kind of work out. Wreck Rap is the kind of wild card. He needs to be utilized correctly. And the thing is, I think that they've been utilizing him pretty much correctly so far, so I have more hope and optimism on that side. I can totally understand people that fucking hate Wreck Rap and don't want him anywhere near a story like this and want it more serious, and I'm usually normally on that kind of side as well, but I just have liked how this creative team has worked so far, and I want to see how Spidey deals with this, how long he's able to fight off the programming. If this was pretty much what Ben is going to be utilized for, is he going to pop up anymore? What the Walking Brain kind of came up with Peter, and how this is going to kind of go down. This is nutty. And especially Norman, shifting off some of the subsidiaries to be owned by Peter Parker. He's either going to get Peter to take some kind of other fucked up kind of fall, or what else he's trying to do of essentially maybe trying to create his own... shit, think about it this way. What if Norman is deciding to try to create his own kind of goblin world? Now, granted, that's kind of more of a expansion kind of thing. Maybe he doesn't even want to take over Peter Parker's body. What if he just wants to create him into more of a goblin person, and then utilizing Oscorp to create more things, use more Winkler devices, and create more people as goblins? Now, granted, that's just a theory that I just got up in my head at the moment. There's a lot of different kind of ways that this stuff can go, and I cannot wait to see what goes on with this. And we're getting kind of close to the conclusion, I think, because that'll be in 54 with this. But we'll have to see what repercussions and everything pop out with this as well. What I've really liked about this run is that even though we have arcs that end, they sometimes tease in and carry over for what's kind of going on and kind of build and build. And that's what I've been really enjoying, because sometimes we get a story that we might not think is very important, and then we see these things brought up later that become very important for other future arcs, and I love that kind of building up. Kind of reminds me of One Piece. Everything kind of building towards different kind of conclusions. Now, granted, this is a different kind of medium, because with comics, you have certain kind of creative teams that do that kind of thing, and then you get, of course, your status quo reset to a certain kind of thing for a new creative team to take over. One Piece doesn't really have that at this point, and I hope it doesn't, because I like what Oda's been doing, because God forbid we get like a Robert Jordan situation or whatnot, where they're doing it and somebody else has to finish. But I'm along for this ride, and it's kind of nuts and crazy, and I can't wait to see where it goes next. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.